see lots of nylons,
Yeah.
and they're covered with plastic. And I don't know
Keep
how
the
they
snow out, I guess.
yeah, I don't know how they get the plastic over the whole boat because it's lots and lots of plastic.
Yeah.
It goes on for like
Well,
50 feet, and it's going to be probably about 50 feet wide if you go from the hull up and
Yeah.
over the top and then back down to the hull again. And
well, you get you and your buddies and a case of beer, and you go, okay, pull. So you pull the plastic over the boat.
okay, now a case of beer is that the level of recompense that gets your participation in something?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, if I said, come on over to the house and help me paint the garage and I'll give you a case of beer, you'd be there?
Sure.
Yeah,
Well,
right.
it depends on the beer, of course.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute, man. I saw you on the highway on Saturday. You were standing there.
Oh, I got a bone to pick with you about that, but I'll do it off the
Oh,
air.
you do? What? My money was counterfeit? Or it
No,
was cheap?
no.
Oh, but
Yes, you saw me on the high. I was at Park Square
yeah,
collecting money
you
for
were
Autumn
collecting money for the Autumn Fest.
Yes, yeah.
I didn't see any cases of beer around, man.
Well, you can't,
if I'd known I could
now that's public drinking, and you can't do that, Bob. You should know that. You're a lawyer.
Oh, okay.
Although I should try it sometime. See if I because I never. Well, I did see a couple of police go by. Yeah,
Yeah.
they would not be amused.
Oh,
All right, Bob. We
you
did have a.
collected, how much did you collect?
I don't know. Because we always give the money over.
Yeah.
And we collect in 2 locations, so they got to combine the money, and they haven't told us yet how much we usually get. It's usually around $1,000 for 4 hours work, so it's not bad.
Wait a minute. I could pick up like $500 if I stand on a corner and wear a hat that says Autumn Fest and carry a bucket.
You know, you don't even have to wear something that says Autumn Fest. I look at those people that stand over there at Darling Village.
You know?
They're making $60 an hour just on handouts. I go, I don't know why I'm here. I should be over there with that guy, just asking for money. It seems
The possibilities are
they're-
vast, man.
That's right. Now, normally, I'm thinking, for Autumn Fest, most of the time I got a dollar. Sometimes I got 2, and that's the average amount, and that's fine. But occasionally, here's a 5, here's a 10, here's a 20, and I'm shocked when it's that amount.
It's got to be your personality, man. You're
Well,
just
no,
drawing
it's
the money
really,
in.
It's really not me. All right. We did get a note that was called in. This is kind of sort of to do with sports, but the National Football League Players Association wants natural grass fields. You must have heard that Aaron Rodgers hurt himself.
Yes, I did.
Okay, he was on a turf field, and the players are blaming the turf for wrecking his Achilles.
Now, is turf artificial
Yes.
artificial
It's called-
grass?
they actually
Right.
call it field turf now, and it's not real grass.
Okay.
But the Players Association said if it was real grass, he wouldn't have hurt himself
Okay.
on that certain play.
Now, is the turf more slippery? It's probably made out of plastic,
No,
right?
it's not. Yeah, it's not more slippery. In fact, they've gone to the commissioner of the NFL.
Right.
This is what the players want as a union kind of thing. Just a little more on the note. Natural grass fields. It's because of the Aaron Rodgers injury. It's becoming a rude awakening. In this person's opinion, it's valid, and certainly a protective rule for the players. However, it'll have plenty of opposition because there's always money involved, and that's true. And they've already gone to Roger Goodell, the commissioner of the NFL. And he just says, quote, moving all stadium fields to high-quality natural grass surfaces is the easiest decision the NFL can make. Nope, I'm sorry, that's somebody else. That's someone from the NFL Players Association. Commissioner Roger Goodell says, well, we got to look into it. It's a complex issue. What we have to do is go on science. We want to go on what's the best from an injury standpoint to prevent the injuries, to give our players the best possible surface to play on. And he goes, I know some of the players like playing on it because they think they end up being faster, and others don't like it. So it's kind of 50-50.
Okay. Now you're wearing cleats on the bottom of your shoes.
Well, you wear different shoes depending on the surface of the field.
Oh, I
Yes.
didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because if you're wearing cleats on natural field,
Right.
it'll dig in better. But
Right.
if you wear it on the fake stuff, you're going to slip. So you got to wear different shoes.
What are they wearing on the soles of their feet on the fake grass?
Well, it looks like cleats, but they're made out of something different that helps them
So they don't
run
grip
better.
into the
Yeah,
surface.
so they get stuck, and that's what I think happened on on Aaron Rodgers. He was getting tackled by the Buffalo Bills player,
Yeah.
and his foot got stuck and kind of twisted. Nothing to do with the Buffalo Bills player. It's just
Right.
what happened with him when he got stuck in the turf and twisted, and that's what ruptured his Achilles.
You know more about sports than I'll ever dream of.
Well, this
What is
is-
your opinion?
Well, I'm not a medical person,
No, but I mean,
so I don't know if the ground caused the injury.
okay, but in
there's a-
general, the concept.
I'd rather them play on natural grass. I think it's more fair than the fake stuff. But I also know why they use the fake stuff. Gillette Stadium uses fake grass. It's cheaper. It's more durable. A lot of the stadiums where the football players play, the soccer players play, and who tear up the grass a lot more than the football players do.
Okay.
So they use the synthetic grass because it's more durable.
I mean, suppose those new stadiums don't have sprinkler systems to
You don't need it
wet
then.
the field if
Yeah.
they don't have real grass.
It's a tough issue. It won't be determined this year. This is something I'll have to look at for sometime maybe next year. They'll say, okay, all stadiums have to have natural grass.
Now, if I stand on the corner, not with the bucket for the money, but with just a big sign that says, I'm in favor of natural grass, are people going to be thinking of football, or are they going to be thinking that maybe I can get some other stuff?
You actually may get some free stuff that way.
Matt, there is no chance of my getting free stuff.
All right, we got to take a break here on the Coffee Amp program. So since Bob's going to leave a little early today, it's time for a second message from your law office, Bob.
Thank you. Good morning. A few minutes ago, I discussed with you the concept of assumption of risk as it applies to skiing accidents. I'd like to call your attention to Section 769, General Laws of the State of Rhode Island, which grants to uncompensated volunteers of a federally tax-exempt organization protection from liability based solely upon the individual's conduct in the execution of the said office unless the said conduct is proven to be malicious, willful, or wanton. The statute, however, does not relieve the exempt volunteer from liability based upon ownership and/or operation of a motor vehicle. The statute also provides said volunteers from liability for injuries incurred while a person is practicing for or participating in any contest or sports exhibition, provided, however, that in the case of a minor child, the parent or the guardian of the minor has signed a waiver of liability and acknowledgement of the assumption of risk regarding that athletic activity. If you'd like to discuss legal matters with me, please call my office for an appointment. My name is Bob Lauder. My telephone number is 762-4550. And the disclaimer: the Supreme Court of Rhode Island licenses all attorneys in the general practice of law. The court does not license or certify any attorney as an expert or specialist in any field of practice. Thank you.
All right, Bob, thanks. More of the Coffee Amp program coming your way. Stay tuned.
Krakow Deli Bakery and Smokehouse offers authentic homemade Polish food to make your next meal real special. Try our many varieties of hot and fresh pierogi with onions and dirty sour cream, or pick up golubki, kielbasa, babkas, or some fresh rye bread. We also offer a large selection of specialty and imported goods. We're open Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays from 9 to 6, Wednesdays 9 to 5, and Saturdays 8 to 5. Follow us on Facebook to learn about our weekly specials. Located at 855 Social Street in Woonsocket, Krakow Deli Bakery and Smokehouse has all the authentic Polish foods you love.
The Coffee Amp panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee in Pawtucket. They're a 62-year-old family business that roasts all its coffee right here in Rhode Island. Founded originally as Excellent Coffee Company, they provide great coffee to food service establishments throughout New England.
Have you heard of Scott McGee with Remax Properties? He's been selling real estate in Rhode Island and Massachusetts for the last 17 years, and you can see that he loves what he does. Scott, as well as his team, take pride in what they call the fair and honest team. No gimmicks. And no, they're not buying your house if it doesn't sell, etc. Just fair and honest real estate. Scott personally works with tons of sellers and buyers and specializes in residential properties as well as commercial, and he's always very fair and offers super competitive rates. Remember, this is probably the biggest move in dollars that you will ever spend or receive. You want to go with a trusted and experienced agent. Scott is fair, honest, and modest, always puts the clients first, and he also dealt with literally almost any situation. You really need to look at your real estate needs as a business. You want to pay and get the right money now so that you're not paying for it later. Trust me. So why not give Scott McGee a call at 401 639 2906? That's 401 639 2906.
This portion of the Coffee and program is sponsored by the Call newspaper. Do you have an apartment or home for rent? Or perhaps you have extra items to sell? With over 50,000 readers in print and online, The Call and OneSocketCall.com is the best place to reach customers here in the Blackstone Valley. Whether it's apartment rentals, homes for sale or rent, lost and found items, or even job listings, our classifieds offer an affordable way to reach readers, subscribers, and advertisers every day of the week. So, if you have something you want to sell, call us today at 767-8503 with your ad, and it will appear in the next day's call. Be sure to call before the 2:30 p.m. deadline. That's 767-8503 to place your ad today. It is Coffee and on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. I'm Joe Callahan here with Bob Lauder, and joining us at the coffee and table is the mayor of the city of Woonsocket, Lisa Baldelli Hunt. Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, everyone out there.
Nice to have you here with us. Before we get to the mayor, just want to mention about Scott McGee's latest listing. There it is up on our stream. Take a look at it there, Bob. He's got a house for sale. It's in Narragansett, going for $599. And it's, let me get some of the details here. It's a 3-bedroom, 1 full bath, 1,290 square foot home on, I had the street up here. Well, I did have the street.
Yes, Glenda Way, it says.
Is that what it is?
I think so.
Yep.
Glenda Way
Glenda Way
Drive.
in Narragansett. This is the front of the house. There's taking a look at the inside of the kitchen with a nice cabinets, dishwasher. That's more of the kitchen. Stackable washer dryer in the kitchen, which is odd.
Did you look at the little map
What? No, did I see a little map?
down in the left right-hand corner?
Where?
Pull the screen up a little bit.
I can't.
Oh, well, anyway.
Yeah, scroll. No, just scroll. No, not that. Scroll up.
Yeah. Oh,
No,
up,
no.
Up.
Yes.
All right.
No, other
No,
way.
I'm sorry.
Other way.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah, scroll
we'll
down.
say scroll down. right there.
Look.
Right, this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
See all the blue?
Yeah.
It's close to the water.
Oh,
in
that,
Narragansett.
yeah, that blue. Yeah. So it's near a beach.
Yes.
So there you go. All right. So very nice listing there down in Narragansett. If you're looking for it, little breakfast nook. It looks like doesn't it look like a beach house?
It does look like a beach house.
It does look like a beach house. It is. We're looking at the living room now, and it's a nice and spacious. So
Yeah,
get
it's
a hold
crisp. It's
get a-
very crisp looking.
Yeah, get a hold of Scott McGee if you're interested. Want to move down to South County? Maybe you don't want to do it this weekend though, with the hurricane coming and all. All right, so we want to talk to Mayor Lisa Baldelli Hunt. I got a few things that I wanted to bring up, very few actually. But the first thing though, Mayor, the Ho Kong restaurant down and gone.
Down and gone.
So I'm happy to see that. However, the signpost
is there.
is still there.
Yes.
Is the city going to utilize that for something, or is that coming down at a later time?
Right. So, well, currently we will be utilizing it. We will be putting up
Like a cast
pot-
park?
No,
way
no, no,
kind
no,
of
no, because we don't want anybody going in because it's under construction. But we may put some type of rendering. We may put just notice that it's under construction. Please, refrain from going in. So we will probably be utilizing it. In the end, will a sign remain in that location? It depends on the final design. But for now, it was better to keep it up than take it down.
Okay, all right.
Yes, totally different perspective there, right? When you
Oh,
go by.
sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when you come down Newland Ave, you usually, would have that big block on the right. I mean, you're never happy to be knocking something down that used to be,
Something
a
established.
profitable, established restaurant. But it got to the point with the family where they decided to close. I believe their last license was issued in 2018, so about 5 years ago. And the son is the person who was the point person for the parents. Very, very nice man. I never met him, but always extremely pleasant and professional. It was a pleasure to work with somebody like that. And he was, just a super guy. And watching out for the best interest of his parents, which you would always hope that your children do. So, yeah, he was a nice person.
I saw you down
Is a
there.
nice person.
I saw a picture of you and Steve D'Agostino down there when they were knocking it down. So were you directing things going on?
Well, actually, it was interesting. We were watching. I looked. I was like, "Oh my gosh! Look at that red liquid pouring down the asphalt."
What was it?
It was the red sauce.
Still food?
It was a container that must have got hit with the excavator, and it popped open,
So the
and
marinara
so it must have
sauce
been
is
like
running
the jugs of it, right? It was like it was kind of funny, but and then we were like, wait, we were telling the operator, stop. Steve, I said, tell him to stop. He's like, why? I said, look, there's a whole pack of the paper menus.
Oh yeah.
With an elastic on it.
Yeah.
He's like, what do you want that for? I'm like, I'm not sure, but it's better to have it than not have it. So we have it. We have them. There's a whole bunch of them. And then we also, we had them stop again before that because someone said, do you know when you walk in on the right, there's a stack of the real menu, not the little papered
Okay.
type menu that you give when people
like a
order.
pickup menu.
Like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
real, we'll call it leather bound menu, right? So I said, stop. He was like, what? That was the first time. I said, get those menus. He said, what do you
But why
want
do you-
these
why do you need them
menus
for?
for?
Yeah.
So I said, I'm not sure. And then later on, I said, we're going to see if we can clean them up and maybe bring one to the milk fund auction or, sometimes
neat.
people worked there.
Yeah.
Or, that was their favorite restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
Because we had people calling my office saying, is there any way I can get in there and get a menu? And I wish we would have
kidding,
kept that
really?
person's name.
Wow.
And then it was, then there was is there any way we can get one of the scorpion bowls? Is there any way? So there were things, but really the equipment was clearly not usable.
yeah.
It was,
yeah,
it
it
was,
sat there for 5
it was,
years, so.
yeah, no offense to the family, but it was at end of life.
Yeah.
But these menus and things, we'll use it for something. We're not sure yet.
That's neat.
Kind of cool.
Yeah.
Any of the art that was inside the Ho Kong was that taken out before it was knocked down? Or,
I
or
don't
statues or anything like that.
I don't remember art
Okay.
in there. I mean, I that was not a place I honestly
Frequented?
I didn't really frequent
Yeah.
that location. On occasion, we'd get takeout or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
All right.
I don't know. The family may have gone in too to take
And
some
take
things
stuff.
as
Okay.
well.
So, Bob, I just want to keep you up to date on the time.
Thank you.
I know
I
you gotta
have to
head
run
out of
away.
here. 'Cause
Thank
you
you.
got court down in Providence. So
Yes.
best of luck down there, and
Thank you.
have a good time. We'll see you next Thursday.
Yes.
All
Thank
right.
you.
All right, Bob.
Oh, good to see you.
Have a good day.
Jeez.
I know. It's not you, Mayor. It's
I'll
me.
call you.
So, we had the crazy weather yesterday. Mayor, how did the city fare coming through? And I know we didn't get a direct hit on any kind of maybe tornadoes, but we got the rains and the wind. So how did the city fare?
The city fared well,
Mm-hmm.
and I was actually talking to Director D'Agostino this morning, and Councilman Beauchamp, who is also in the construction industry, and we're talking about different communities who had some tough hits, including some problems out in the Attleboro area and things like that. And I was asking, the councilman how things were where he was out working with the company that he works for. And we were talking about the change in, these are things just as, a resident of the city, you probably don't pick up on because you're busy with life, right? And when you think back and when you think of when it used to rain, the incredible amount of streets that used to be, and I won't say flooded where you couldn't drive, but the water was, reaching the center line and you'd have to really slow down. And, how much can those drainage grates take? How fast, right? Well, what we discussed this morning was since we've moved to brine over the last several years and we're not putting down all that sand,
Yeah.
all of that sand is not getting into our
collecting.
drainage system.
Yeah.
So when it would rain before, it would fill so fast because there'd be 3 inches of rain and it was then overflowing out the top. Now with the elimination, almost the entire elimination, very little sand being used, it has really cleared out those drains and it can accept that water much more easily. So these are some of the things that, as a resident and quality of life, they're not things you're thinking of, right? They're not things like, oh, great, the city's using brine. Or, oh, great, there's not as much sand. But all of this added together makes a difference. The brine is helping with the clearing of the snow. The brine is helping with the ice. We're helping the environment by using less sand. We're helping our drainage systems by having less sand. And when it rains, the water has a place to go. So all of these things are areas of improvement within the city that you really are not thinking of, because your job is really to maintain your home and your family and your children and go to work and do what you need to do, and let government advance your community as best as they can within reason and being fiscally responsible.
When you are making the decision to go with the brine, was that touted to you as a good thing? Hey, this is going to happen as well. Your streets will drain faster using this stuff.
Right.
Or was that a pleasant surprise that you just found that out?
Well, no, that was that I could figure out.
Yeah.
But the brine was the idea of Director D'Agostino, and when he brought the brine to me, of course, my question always is, where's it going? How much is it going to cost? What is the benefit? And in a sense, he sells it. I don't mean literally sells it to me, but he sells it to me. We do sell it to others. And then we make that decision. And clearly it was another very good idea by the director, as was our in-house paving crew, which is out there working today.
All right, and we're going to take a break here in the Coffee and program, but more is coming your way. Comments and questions for the mayor can be called in at 766-1240. Time for a look at the forecast, being brought to you by Compassion International.
Sunny skies today with a high of 76 degrees. Tonight, mostly cloudy, overnight low of 53. Friday's weather, mostly cloudy with a high of 68. Saturday, mostly cloudy, 68, and windy. Sunday, sunny and 77. Monday, sunny and 77. Tuesday, sunny and 75. And on Wednesday, sunshine and 74 degrees.
Currently outside the Navigate Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue, Kennedy Street, sunny skies and 64 degrees. Families in poverty are facing a global food crisis. $50 provides a food kit to feed a family for a month. Just text the word radio to 97646. And this portion of the Coffee and program was sponsored by the Call newspaper.
The Call and WoonsocketCall.com is here for you. Access to news and information is more important than ever in today's busy world. WoonsocketCall.com makes it easy to access important news headlines, lifestyle, and sports stories, classifieds, and more online. That's right, all the community news and information you need and want is just a click or a tap away. For just $15.99 a month, you get full access to our online paper in addition to our daily printed paper. That's full access to our e-edition at no extra cost. Or sign up for the digital subscription for just $10.99 a month. To subscribe now, call 767-8504. That's 767-8504. The Call and WoonsocketCall.com. Here for you. You know, when you're paying the right price for protection, you just know it. It's that warm, fuzzy, totally secure feeling, knowing that you're not only getting great coverage, but you're also not paying too much for it. And when it comes to your insurance, there's no one better at getting the right price for your protection than Allstate agents Kara and Celeste Benjamin, because they know when it comes to your bank account, every penny counts towards something bigger, something better. Like a nicer car, that home update you've been dreaming of, or a phone that's fresh out of the box. Those little or big things that we work so hard for. And Kara and Celeste Benjamin want to help you work a little less by getting you the coverage you need and the savings you deserve when you switch to Allstate. Contact Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. One agency, two locations in North Smithfield and Bellingham. 765-5000 for a free quote today. Allstate, you're in good hands. And you're in good hands with Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. Savings vary based on the average annual savings reported by new auto customers surveyed in 2019 who switched to Allstate. Let me say a word about Chan's Fine Oriental Dining at 267 Main Street in Woonsocket. Yes, this is where you get to enjoy the best. Book your next party with Chan's. They have a lovely room, as you know. And great food like the wonton soup, the crab rangoon, boneless ribs, teriyaki sesame chicken, and general chicken, and 5-spice shrimp, lo mein, fried rice. Gosh, I don't have to go through all of it, do I? 32 special combo dinners at Chan's, delicious and reasonably priced. Friday and Saturday, you have WRIK karaoke in the lounge from 8 to 11. And of course, Mai Tais and Scorpion Bowls to go at Chan's. 765-1900, delivery at 762-1364, Chan's. You have the power. Nominate your favorites today at bestoftheblackstonevalley.com.
Coffee in on ON, AM and FM. Thanks for joining us. This is Joe Callahan here with Woonsocket Mayor Lisa Baldelli Hunt. Thanks for joining us this morning. I don't know if you want to make any other comments. Something that Steve D'Agostino brought up at the Woonsocket City Council meeting, talking about the new water, the water thing, water plant. There we go. Anyway, new water plant, but old pipes. And is he talking about are they needing to be replaced?
Oh, I would venture to guess that every municipality has piping that needs to be replaced.
Oh, okay.
Replaced, right? We have, I'm not even sure, maybe 100 miles of piping. We have 600 streets. We have, again, if you don't incrementally improve your infrastructure over the years, you end up in a situation like we ended up with our roads. So many roads have had the unfortunate circumstance of needing to be replaced, reconstructed. And I'm going to go back to a simpler version of this. So vehicles, fleet, police fleet, fire fleet, highway fleet. Those are the three major departments that have the most vehicles, their fleet. And if you do not buy vehicles on a cyclical fashion, then, and everything comes to end of life at the same time, you are confronted with millions and millions of dollars of necessary funding in order to improve those vehicles. So that happened when I became elected. This was the situation, unfortunately, in all three departments. We had the floorboards in some vehicles where when you were driving in the vehicle, you could see the roadway. We had duct tape holding windshields together. We didn't have the money to replace all of that. But what we did was we started to purchase vehicles. We started to apply for grant funding, which only works in certain departments. And we started to replace the vehicles. Over a 10-year period, we have made an incredible, significant difference in changing the dynamic of the fleet. So every year you're buying something. You're either buying a rescue, you're buying, new vehicles for the fire marshals, or cruisers, or dump trucks, right?
And
if
you never know when a cruiser is going to get into an accident.
Exactly.
Chasing a criminal of some sort.
Correct. So we have done this with the vehicles, and it's been successful. So one day when another mayor comes in, they're going to look and say, okay, where are we with our vehicles? And as long as they continue to do that cyclical buying, the city will never be in that position again. It's the same thing with your piping, right? Your water treatment plant. We built a water treatment plant. The water treatment plant needed to be built years ago. So sometimes you'll hear people criticize things, and I think, and I look at them and I say, yeah, but you sat there and you did nothing about it. But now you want to be critical of some like little minor detail. So, it's like kind of put your money where your mouth is, like step up and do something, or really don't even opine on it because you failed the residents of the city. So, but we did. It was a controversial thing to build for some reason, maybe because of the expense of it, but it's our water. And so we built this plant. But again, ignoring the things you don't see is not good either. So we had to do the roads. We did the water plant. We replaced water mains. Oftentimes we're replacing them as they're breaking. We're lead piping. We have a program. We're waiting for the funding. People still may have lead pipe that they're responsible for on their side of the property. But the funding will help to eliminate the lead pipes that go to their house. So these are all I call them, they're not the sexy things. They're not the flowery things that you see. You're not driving by and going, wow, look at that big, beautiful new building. You're not seeing the pipe underground,
Right.
but it's just as important in a different way.
Okay. Manville Road is part of it is being replaced, or
Right, so part of it
Replacement.
is being reconstructed, and
is that because of have pipes burst?
no,
underneath, or-
That's
okay.
that's because, and I don't want people to think that, oh, look at her, she's bragging, she's patting herself on the back. It's important for people to recognize how government works. It's important for elected officials to realize the importance of having good working relations with individuals and departments and other elected officials that help your municipality. And in this particular case, I, like many others, would drive on Manville Road. And there was a section in particular between Circle Street and Mount St. Charles Avenue that was in really difficult shape. And it was a section that a lot of people utilized to go to cut through to the other side of the city, to go to Mount St. Charles Academy itself. And it's not our responsibility. It's a state road, but it's in our city. And it is affecting people who drive on that street. There are thousands of cars a day who drive on that street. So that particular road was not due for reconstruction by the state. So I called the director of DOT, Director Peter Alviti, and I explained to him, I said, Director, we have this section of road and some scattered sections throughout that really could utilize some improvement. And I recognize Manville Road's a pretty significant sized road in length, right?
Yes.
You're not just going to say, okay, I'm not going to do these other 3 roads in these other 3 cities because you called me.
Yeah.
So the idea was, can we partner with you and can we resurface these areas to get us through on smooth surface until you're ready to pave the road? Now, years ago, you didn't see that happening. The first time that happened was when I worked with them on Cumberland Hill Road when I first got elected. That went out to contract, but we got it done, and we partnered with DOT. So I can't thank DOT enough, because without them, the construction on Manville Road right now would not be happening. But without my relationship with them, it wouldn't be happening
At all.
either.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I can tell you that phone call, within 1 week, we had the approval, we had DOT out, we were measuring, we were working out the agreement, and this particular one is being done by our in-house road paving program.
Because it's already here.
Because they're able to do this road,
Yeah.
and that's where they are right now.
All right, great. So how long do you think it'll take before it's finished?
Well, the weather, as we just talked about weather, right? The weather has had an impact on that. The goal was to have it done this week, but we will. Let's just say we'll push it out until Wednesday.
Okay. So
But
that's-
it
that's still pretty quick.
may be sooner. Yes. Mhm.
Okay. It's also yard waste season.
It is.
Started again.
Everybody loves that.
Oh yeah, yay! But the city will come around and pick up your yard waste, right?
We will. That's another program that we have that we offer, and there are some other programs we offer as well. I think they're programs that we offer for free, which is a benefit to being a resident in the city. And I think it's important to do these things because it's quality of life. Everybody wants a clean yard. People who don't have a clean yard, the people beside them wish they did have a clean yard. They take pride in their yard. So we do. So we do have this little gap in between when we do it in the spring, and then we take a little hiatus in the summer, and then we pick it up again. So it'll start on September 25th, and it will go through the week of November 27th. And the pickup will occur on the days that you have your trash pickup. Put your bags out there or your containers out there by 6 a.m. on that date. And what some people do, they think it's a good thing to do. They roll the bag and then they put duct tape or they close it. Please do not do that. Those bags are not being put out there properly. If you're putting them in a plastic barrel, please make sure it says yard waste, spray paint yard waste. put the cover on it and put it out there. So, get that done. Again, we only pick up through obviously it's practically Christmas by then.
Right.
through that week. And we also do offer the $25 sticker for those who want to utilize it more often. That's only for residents, not for contractors. So get that rake and
Yeah, that's right.
yeah.
And it's working out well, the timing, because we might have some heavy winds this weekend, which might bring
Yes.
down some tree limbs.
Yes,
So
I went
there
for a
you go.
walk. I said to my husband, one of the on our walk there was a yard. I said, this was at the beginning of the week. I said, look at the leaves on the grass already.
Already?
They literally looked like they'd been there for weeks because they were already crunchy.
Wow.
And it was a particular type of leaf that when it fell, I don't know what kind it was. I actually wanted to pick one up. It must just go to that crunchy state, that
Right away.
dried out state
Yeah.
immediately. Yes.
Wow. All right, more of the Coffee and program coming your way. We want you to please stick around.
Hi, I'm Kathy LaValle at The Honey Shop. Check out our Facebook page at The Honey Shop RI, and there you'll see a whole list of our new classes and lots of fun things to do. You could join us for making limoncello, pizzas, pasta making, cheese making, so many fun things to do and learn.
Thanks, Kathy. Folks, if you love food, you'll love the Honey Shop, right behind the Dunkin' Donuts at Park Square in Woonsocket.
Hi, everybody. This is Bill Schneck with the Autumn Fest Steering Committee. Autumn Fest 2023 is almost here, and I am very excited to announce that the 2023 Autumn Fest raffle calendars are now available here at this radio station, WOON AM and FM radio, 985 Park Avenue. The Autumn Fest raffle calendars are still $10 each, and this year the total prize value is over $12,000, our highest ever. During the month of November, a drawing will be held every day. If your name is drawn and you win that day, your name will go back into the daily drawing so you could have multiple chances to win. The calendars will also be available to purchase during our 45th Autumn Fest celebration being held this Columbus Day weekend, October 7th, 8th, and 9th at World War II Veterans Memorial Park on Social Street here in Woonsocket. Calendars will also be available with any members of the Autumn Fest Steering Committee. All proceeds from the sale of the Autumn Fest raffle calendars will be used to offset expenses incurred during the Autumn Fest weekend. I look forward to seeing you, your families, and friends this Columbus Day weekend down at Autumn Fest. Thank you for your continued support over the last 45 years.
Today's the day to nominate the best of the Blackstone Valley.com.
It is Coffee and here on ON AM and FM. Thanks for joining us. This is Joe Callahan here with Woonsocket Mayor Lisa Baldelli Hunt. And I guess we're having an uptick. Did Chief Oates get a hold of you and say, look, there's been an uptick this summer in people breaking into cars because the cars are unlocked?
No, actually, I picked up on that myself because I had some neighbors who said they had a little bit of an issue. And I also see it in the reports. So I spoke with Director Gillette. We drafted a press release, which was supposed to go out yesterday. It'll go out today. Sent it over to the chief, sent it over to the director, made sure that the content was correct,
Yeah.
and the director wanted to put a quote in there as well. So it's there, it's going out. And I guess, like when I was talking to the chief, I guess it's a little bit of semantics. Is it a break-in or is it a tampering with vehicle, right?
'Cause the door's unlocked.
If it's unlocked, they're
Right.
opening the door. So what happens is, you just kind of nonchalantly go by, you pull on the handle. If the handle opens,
Okay,
boom,
I'm
you
in.
go in within seconds. So you may think, oh, what the heck, I just got some change in there,
Yeah,
right?
no big
But then
deal.
the change turns into your sunglasses and turns into your phone charger. So some of it may not add up to a lot. We have expensive sunglasses, it does.
Yeah.
But then you get in, now you don't have a phone charger. The dollar bills are gone. Sometimes gift cards are left there because you're going through drive-throughs. And sometimes people just may leave their briefcase or laptop or something in there as well. And then what it's doing is it's drawing those people to that particular neighborhood because they're saying, okay, I got into this car,
There must be
I may go
others.
back,
Yeah.
or they stay away from that neighborhood because they already went there. So who knows what they're thinking?
Right.
I don't know. But ultimately, in the end, there was one person who their keys were taken. And that is such an inconvenience. And
Oh,
what is
sure.
why were the keys taken? Did they think it went to a house? Whatever the case is. The other thing is, is the fact that, and Chief Oates was mentioning this, a lot of times people, especially in neighborhoods that where you feel, it's very safe, I've got great neighbors, but you're in bed, you don't know who's coming around. Some people will take their keys, throw them under their mat, throw them under their seat.
Really? Okay.
So, well, years ago, Joe, you're too young, but they were left in the ignition.
Oh, I
they
remember-
didn't,
I
right?
remember
They
that.
didn't
Yeah,
even take them
sure.
in the house. So what happens in that particular case is that nowadays a lot of the cars have the push button start.
Yeah.
So you jump in the car, you press that button, the keys are under the seat. The car starts.
Drive
Now
the
your
car
car's
away.
exactly.
Yeah, wow.
They just need it to get somewhere for a short period of time, right? You don't even know it's gone.
Right.
So anyway, the long and short of it is, please lock
Lock your vehicles.
and not only lock it, but take anything that's in view, because now you don't want them to break in to get what they're seeing.
Yeah.
The other thing is this, where some people may not realize, and this happens often, and it's impossible to rectify, nearly impossible to rectify the problem for them. This will happen, or anything will happen. They'll see something suspicious. So I'll come into the office or get up in the morning, checking my emails, 5 o'clock, and we have the report a concern button on our website. And they'll report the concern of what happened and what they saw at 11 o'clock at night, or 10 o'clock at night, or 2 o'clock in the morning. It's too late.
Now it's too late. Right.
It's like we cannot turn back time and say, okay, send a cruiser, it's 2 a.m., right?
Yeah.
It's 8 in the morning or 5 in the morning. So we cannot stress enough that when something is happening, to call WPD or call 911.
Immediately.
Call 766-1212, press prompt number 9, talk to a dispatcher. Doing it,
They're always there.
calling and leaving a message on my phone line or the chief's
Yeah.
phone line. When we get in the morning, whatever occurred is
done.
Is done. Right.
All right. So the upshot is lock your car doors at all times. Yeah. You may say you're in a safe neighborhood. It's not your neighbors you got to worry
Right.
about. It's people cruising
Right.
through the neighborhood that you got to
Right.
worry
The
about.
old see something, say something. Right?
Right.
See something, say something. Pick up the phone and call.
All right, I want to get an update on what's going over at Cass Park, and just something to keep in mind because it just happened. Because you want to build the new football field over there, and you saw what happened at Lincoln High. Their press box fell over. Did you
Oh,
hear
I
about
didn't
this?
know that.
Because of the high winds yesterday, the press
Oh.
box has tipped over and has fallen into the bleachers. So, who's ever going to be building the press box? Make it nice and sturdy so this doesn't happen over there at Cass Park.
Well,
Yeah, I saw.
town Administrator Gould, call the interlocal trust.
There you go. Yeah, but I saw pictures on is either 12's website or 10's website. Yeah,
Oh wow, I
The whole
I
thing.
didn't see that. I missed it.
thump has fallen over. So
Wow.
so what else is going on over there at Cass Park?
Well, they're still excavating. They're working away. We've got gravel. We have loom, and we actually broke the $900,000 mark
In sales?
in sales.
Wow,
Yes.
great.
So it's great. And when you look at that, selling the very product that you're excavating from the site is pretty novel, I think. And so whatever, you say, okay, we want to build a new turf football field, track. We need a practice field. We need a place for track, for shot put, javelin, hammer, all of these things. All of these things cost money. And to do that, you need to hire the excavator. You need to cut some trees. You need to move earth. Well, all of that costs money. If we didn't have the sale of the gravel, then we would be paying somehow, whether it was through the tax revenue from taxpayers, whether it was through ARPA, whether it was through grant funding. But we have the benefit of, like I said a long time ago, there's gold in them thar hills, right?
That's right.
And
In the dirt.
That's right. So it is very promising, and we have literally been able to sell enough to pay for all the work we've done so far, and I'm sure there'll be excess in funding.
And there's more to sell, right?
And there's more to sell,
great.
and there's more to excavate. So as they keep moving along, and plus the loom as well. So when you get to a point where let's call it, the ground is prepped and ready for the actual project, the construction of the facility, as opposed to the excavation, you look at that and say, you know what, you can be pretty proud of the fact as a city that we got to this point and we did not have to spend any funds.
Hasn't cost us anything.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And then you see, okay, what do we have left? And where are we going with it, and what this final product will look like?
Well, I'm glad things are moving right along, and 900,000, nothing to sneeze at there.
Nothing to sneeze at.
Wow, that's great. Also going on right now, hydrant flushing for the fall has started again.
Yes.
Just the other night.
Yeah, it can be a little bit of an inconvenience for people because what you're trying to do is there's always these end lines. You're trying to clean the lines. So if you notice a little discoloration, run the cold water. Go on the website, call the water department. If you don't know if it was flushing in your area, they always put notices out. They do make it known, but people are busy. They may not know it, and so they miss it. But it's important to do.
Okay. So there's new exercise equipment at World War II Park.
Yes.
The times I've been there, I see people using it all the time. I think that's great.
I think it's cool, right?
That is cool that it's over there. If you haven't been over there to take a look at it, I mean, go take a look, and it's free, so partake in this. But you want to bring in cornhole boards.
Yes, we're bringing in cornhole boards. We have some beautiful boards that are constructed, and we will be placing those cornhole boards. I would say, I was thinking we were going to do it in a couple of weeks, but we may hold off. The ground has been very wet. It's been raining quite a bit. And I also want to take into consideration that where they're going could potentially already be something that's going there for Autumn Fest. So I don't want to, throw a wrench in that, and now what was going there needs to find another location. So I may wait until the week of Autumn Fest after Columbus Day.
Okay. Will these cornhole boards, will they be a permanent structure?
Yes.
Okay, so you just go in and, I don't know, attach them to cement?
Well, actually, we have our construction supervisor who is extremely knowledgeable. He's a fantastic addition to our staff at City Hall, and he's very creative and very committed. We're very fortunate to have him. And we were going back and forth with trying to determine how are we going to secure them. So initially we figured we'd have to pour cement slabs, which gets to be a bit costly. And then he came up with this really great idea, and I walked into my office one day, or Director Hull's office one day, and I see what looks like what a screw would look like.
All right.
Except the size of, I can't even.
Must be huge. Yeah.
It's huge.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
huge. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what is this? Like somebody sending a message to somebody, right? And so anyway, he came up with this idea to use this particular type of mechanism to bolt them down. So we will be doing that. The only thing we need to figure out, because not everybody is like us, not everybody's like the listeners who are listening. We do have people who are rude and inconsiderate and disrespectful. So we want to be able to leave the corn bags where people can just walk
Use
up,
them.
take them, use them. But then sometimes that evolves into misbehavior, or taking them home, or using them to, like what would you do before when you put the potatoes in those things and
Yeah.
shoot them, right?
You throw 'em
So
at each other.
right,
or
throw them
something
at
like
each
that.
other. So we're trying to figure out what to do with that, and to really get people to recognize, like don't be disrespectful. Respect what you have here, utilize it. And so we have 3 sets of those, and the theme on them is really cool. I love it.
Oh, great.
I think you'll love it. I won't share that yet. I'll let that be
Wait
a
for that to be
surprise.
a surprise. Okay.
And so it's great. We're going to have 3, like I said. 2 will be the standard distance,
Yeah.
and 1 will be the abbreviated distance,
For kids?
which children can use, and also some of the seniors use that abbreviated distance.
I see. I see. If things are going well at the splash pad, now that everything's been fixed, and I see a lot of people using that too.
Yes,
So that's
yes.
fantastic.
absolutely. I think it's great. That park is fantastic. I love it. We keep adding new things because, after all, it's a park.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
If we wanted a showpiece of open space, we have 50 acres of that in East Woonsocket for those who want to go out and explore. But this is a park, and when you have people utilizing a park, it means they're outside, they're active, and the park is being used. And the more people who use the park in a proper way, the less problems you have. When you have no one in an area, that tends to create an environment where people come for activities that maybe should not take place. But when you have a lot of people there, they're playing baseball, basketball, cornhole, on the exercise equipment, people are less likely to come there to drink in the park or smoke in the park or whatever they're doing.
All right, we do got to run. We come to the end, but I want to
Okay.
mention that the new monument at the park, at World War II Park,
Yes.
honoring the World War II soldiers, looks great.
Yes,
It's
it is
fantastic.
beautiful. Thank you to the United Veterans Council. Thank you to Rainey Boudreau, his entire team. It's gorgeous. They worked on it for years. It took a very long time to acquire the proper names to go there. The location of it is ideal.
Yes, it
so
is.
people will hopefully stop and reflect. It is. Kudos to them. We're proud and happy to work with them.
All right, we come to the end of the program. Thank you very much for listening. We thank Bob Lotter for being here a little earlier, and Woonsocket Mayor Lisa Baldelli Hunt. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
All right,
Have a
this-
good day, everyone.
This is Joe Callahan. Enjoy your day. Stay tuned for Gary Smith and the crew. They're coming your way at 9:30 here on ON Radio.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news. Well, you've heard us talk about Hurricane Lee over the last week or so. Might be heading for New England later this week. The National Hurricane Center says as of yesterday, the